I was diagnosed in 2020 with major depressive disorder, but before that, I went through so many phases of like, I can't have depression. There's no way. I mean, I know that something is wrong and I'm constantly just in utter misery, but it can't be depression. It can't be that bad. Well, it ended up actually being that bad. In fact, I didn't plan on living past the age of 18 after my high school graduation. I mean, they happened in freshman year of college as well, when it was the moment where I almost went through with it, and I was looking at just a bottle of pills, and I was opening and closing it and opening and closing it, and I opened it and I dumped a bunch in my hand, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it. And before I could like do it, I miraculously just got a message from my best friend asking to like talk to me or something or call me. And that kind of pulled me out of it momentarily. It definitely scared me telling people. Definitely haven't told them. Don't plan on it. But it was definitely a moment that I had to reconcile with myself. Before 2020, I definitely knew that something was wrong. Something was not right. I was old enough to know that something was different about myself, but I never went and got it checked out until 2020. And then in 2020, like I said, I finally was able to go to the doctor and say, hey, I think something's wrong. And it's funny because I originally went because I thought I had ADHD, but as she was examining me and testing me, she said, you have major depressive disorder. She just asked me a bunch of questions about my life and how I felt. And just, I had to, you know, relieve or talk about some traumatic events in my life. And that is what led to her diagnosing me, yes. Well, if I say I wish there was anything different, then that would involve me just, I guess, going back in time, which is also another misconception about depression is that you need to go through something traumatic in order to have it. That's not true at all. It's just something with your brain chemistry, the chemicals in your brain acting up. So, for those that haven't gone through anything traumatic, and you have it, or you suspect you have it, you are just as valid as people who have gone through something traumatic. Anxiety and depression can be two sides of the same coin. I feel like everyone with depression always has anxiety. It's just kind of like looming in the background. I don't think depression is something that can just be healed. I think it's something you just learn to cope with. Yeah, it's forever there, but how you cope with it and how you deal with it. Everyone's coping mechanisms are different. I daydream a lot, especially when I'm like reading and listening to music, taking myself out of reality for a little bit. I can put myself in like different scenarios, like some cheesy romance thing or like some like awful like action movie type thing or whatnot. For me, no matter how happy and I guess cheerful I may seem on like the outside, it's just like almost like a facade or to people that I'm speaking to, or a mask as some people may call it. Um, but it's also just always just like constant, like it never stops. There's never like an off switch to depression. It's something that kind of slowly creeps up on you when you least expect it. Some days it's just worse than others. It makes you feel stranded, trapped, lost. Um, just a maze with no exit, just constant, just you think you're getting you think you're getting somewhere and then you just run into a dead end just out of nowhere and then you're just back at square one. And it's hard pulling yourself out of the deep I guess trenches of it. I have taken medicine before. I took Lexapro for a month. Definitely should have been longer, but I didn't really feel anything, and it's different for everyone. And for me, I felt just um, numb. I I felt like I was just on autopilot for a long time, like, existing in other people's lives. My sleep varies. Sometimes I will spend all day, all night, just in bed. But there are other days where my anxiety is so bad, I can't go to sleep. The thumping of my heart is just so hard to bypass. I'll say goodnight to my family and friends, then I'm up for hours. If you have the ability um, to get help, I would say it is totally worth it. And you need to look out for yourself. You need to take care of yourself, and you need to do what is best for your mental health. You are heard, and you are loved, and you are appreciated. And you having depression and or any other mental illness does not make you any less of a person. It does not take any value away from who you are.